Back here at Radio Row, Super Bowl 51 between the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots. This is the Zach Gelb Show, Fox Sports 920 The Jersey in Philadelphia and New Jersey as well, powered by Corona Light. And this is a real treat. You've seen the movie 1,000 times. It's the real-life Rudy Ruettiger joining us right now on the Zach Gelb Show. First off, Rudy, welcome to Houston, and how are you?
Wow, Zach, you and I have a lot in common.
We do.
Yeah.
I took a class at Temple University with Professor Coughlin, and you were supposed to come in, and as a sports fan and a aspiring talk show host at the time, usually I wouldn't go to a math class, but I hear Rudy's coming in, and then he scheduled the dates wrong. So tell me a little bit about your connection with Temple and also Professor Coughlin.
Well, Professor Coughlin's a big Rudy fan. And one of his kids, I thought it was you, that came in wanting to quit his math class. Says,
I probably thought it a few times.
He says, no, I'll let you quit, but go watch Rudy first. And the kid came back the next day. He said he became his best student.
You want to know something funny? My first play-by-play experience, I was a sophomore at Temple. Temple opens up in Notre Dame. That was my first experience broadcasting in Notre Dame. It's the most unbelievable stadium you will see. For you, when you still go there and the first time you even saw it, what is it like to go into that stadium with all the history that it has?
All the tradition, or I think we tried to show that in the movie, what the locker room meant, that mystique of the locker room. And man, it's like the film crew, when they first went in there, that's where they kind of, they didn't know what to do. We were doing the scouting. He said, what are you doing here? I said, dude, there's ghosts in here, man. Rockney, Montana, all these, they're still here, man. Go on and on with all the Paul Hornung, Terry Hanratty, go on and on with all the guys, and Joel Theismann dressed over here, he just started pointing out, could have dressed here. And the guys got excited about that. That's what we shoot. Then just even the Notre Dame, the Going Inside and Out, and the Rockney record my dad would listen to. We brought that into the locker room. So it meant a lot.
How did you do it? Because you're one of the greatest underdog stories in the history of sports.
Well, it's about positioning and knowing who you need to know. By that, people get to you by wanting you to win. For an example, if it wasn't for the players of relationships, they would never walked in, the captain of Notre Dame would never walked into the coach to let Rudy dress. One guy, you built that relation, that respected you. In the movie, we showed the team putting that never happened. The jerseys, that would never happen. But we had to create that for dramatic purposes. So that's where the movie differs in those moments, creating composite and balance to make a message work. So that's what was fun about the movie, doing those great moments and making them work.
I'll be honest with you, every year I walk into my house and my dad's sitting there and he's just chanting, Rudy, Rudy, Rudy. And he's 55.
Yeah.
Every time he watches the movie, he cries.
Wow.
When you hear that and you see how much of an impact you still have on people with your story, what does that mean to you?
It means a lot. It means I made the right choice to create the message of what my journey meant. Because I represented all the underdogs. Not I, but the journey represented all underdogs, and I was part of that journey. So I want to give that back by having the attitude and a positive attitude, not giving up, keep moving forward. Don't look back. Don't ask your friends for permission because they won't give it to you. Just do it.
So what other advice would you give a kid that's sitting there right now, may not be the tallest, may not be the strongest, but he just loves football? What advice do you give him? Learn
from the put-downs. Learn from the you can't do it. Knowing the guy that's telling you that, he's not the guy you want to listen to anyhow. So you're going to find that in life because that's life. You're dealing with real life moments. So learn how to handle that in a positive way. If he says you can't do it, just thank him. Say, thanks, Coach, I needed that, and go do it.
Does it surprise you that now we see so many of these underdog stories in the NFL? Like, for example, for the Super Bowl, Chris Hogan, who's always open. They call him 7-Eleven because he's open 24/7. But this is a guy that played lacrosse at Penn State for 3 years, went to Monmouth. People like that, you don't expect him to be in the NFL, and then here you are, he's in the Super Bowl.
He's talented. He has the talent and the skill set. That's what you look for. And yet also the attitude. And I think the movie Rudy, movies like that kind of brings that out. When you have movies like Rudy and Remember the Titans, good sports, Rocky, they give that extra perception to coaches. maybe we're looking at the wrong deal here. Maybe we should look at that guy's heart and his. Yes, he has a talent, but he also has heart. So that comes together.
Rudy Ruettiger with us right now on the Zach Gelb Show, and obviously being in Philadelphia, one of those movies that resonates with us is Rocky, and then also Invincible. So let me ask you this. What's your favorite sports movie to watch, other than Rudy, obviously?
I like Rocky, Remember the Titans, Field of Dreams, Miracle, Hoosiers. Those are the movies that turn me on because they all have wonderful messages. Field of Dreams really flipped the switch too. And Rocky, of course. And you see Miracle, the locker room talk. It's not the name. You're representing the USA. I mean, I was representing Notre Dame, man. And that's what it means. Those are the sports movies that really make me feel good and powerful.
I love Rudy, but no offense, my favorite movie is Miracle. And I watched that, and he goes, Mike Eruzione, who do you play for?
Yeah.
The United States of America. Those movies are just unbelievable, and they all have that team aspect to them. And with you, you know the definition of a team. To be that player that was one of those pain-in-the-butt practice squad players that would always chomp at the bit to make their opportunity, showing that every man on that roster matters. What did that team atmosphere mean to you at Notre Dame?
A lot, because you build all these relationships. One of the kids who wanted to quit Notre Dame is one of the kids who carried me off the field that day. And when he passed, his family requested a Rudy jersey to put in his coffin. That's how much it meant, because I didn't let him live in regret. I said, don't live in regret, man. You're going to regret it. And he stuck with it and graduated and played. But the whole point is, Rudy doesn't have to be number one. As long as they saw it. You know?
I think everyone has.
Right. As long as they saw it. I don't want to be number one. I just want to be part of your life somehow, the message.
After all these years, how long did it take you to really understand your importance and what you did at your time at Notre Dame and just the message overall that you send now to children around the country that are those underdogs?
I'm learning that as the process and the discovery. I learn that every day how much it means. I can't comprehend it. It's hard. How many people watch this movie and get something out of it? My best story is the guy I met yesterday. My second best is the guy I met 3 years ago. And one of the better stories is Kobe Bryant. How the movie affected his life and how it changed his thinking by working hard and don't take his talent for granted. The movie did that for him. I was his hero, which I didn't know, but he told me that in front of my son. He got real emotional. So when you have moments like that, you knew you made the right choice.
Does that stuff ever surprise you when people come up to you and say, hey, your story, even though they may have not have been alive during your story or they could have been years and years connected, does that stuff ever surprise you, how much the impact you've had?
Well, I don't look at it as my story, number one, so I don't take myself serious. But I love the message, so that doesn't surprise me.
All right, so I'm going back up to Notre Dame to open up the football season. My Temple Owls will play to kick off the football season next year. Tell me a little bit about this Notre Dame team for next year.
You gotta chant Rudy, Rudy.
I think my Temple friends, even though they love you, Rudy, they wouldn't be happy with that.
Yeah, I think they would, because it doesn't mean Notre Dame.
True.
That's the point I'm trying to make here. I think it'd be cool to just talk to them and say, hey, man, I wish you the best. And that's all you need. They know what that means. It's tradition. It's the message. Again, Rudy's not, to them, is not Notre Dame. Rudy to them is not, he's Rudy. It means something. That's what's exciting.
Well, we'll talk about Hunt Auctions in just a second. Is that the helmet that you played in?
Yeah. See the actual paint? See it dripping?
How did you keep that still in that good condition after all these years?
You got to know the right people. Remember, I only played 27 seconds.
That's true.
That's it. But look at those practice scars.
Oh my God! There's dents in this helmet. It's unbelievable.
And look at the name. See when they see the name in there, Ruettiger.
Okay.
Then they have to go through they have to go through this restoration, and they have to have that tag in there. So they typed that right over my name. So there was two guys, and I don't know who was that other guy. There was another guy wore this helmet, and I wore the helmet. Isn't that cool?
That's unbelievable. It's a good recycling system they have at Notre Dame.
Well, it's called the Catholic way.
How long did it take you for guys on the team to know who you were?
They knew who I was through the bingo bouts. I was a boxer at Notre Dame, and I beat a football player. That's when I started earning the respect from the players. Remember, I was a little older too. I was in the Navy, and these kids were 18, so I was kind of like their older player. They respected that.
So tell us about Hunt Auctions and all the great work that you're doing with them.
About David Hunt and the auctions, because what they're doing, they're going to take this, and it's a priceless thing here. I mean, I can't give no price, but it's priceless. But this is for charity, and we're going to create scholarships with it and do some great things.
Is it tough to let go of the helmet?
No, because I have my degree. My dad has my Notre Dame ring in his coffin, and my son has my Notre Dame monogram ring. That's how that means to me. This will help people. This is what this is about.
Very powerful stuff. Yeah. Let's end it on a fun note. Can we get a Rudy chant going?
Yeah, let's do this. Let people. I will text you if you do this. Go to new text and type in 385-498-1515 and type in the word Rudy, and I'll send you a text.
Great stuff. Rudy, Rudy, Rudy. I had to do that in front of you. Rudy Ruettiger, thanks so much.
Sure, man. I hope you do well.
Thanks so much, Rudy.
All right. Hey, Dr. Ray, we made it.
There we go. You have a student here actually getting paid now to talk. It's a wonderful thing. Zach Gelb Show, Fox Sports 920 The Jersey. We'll be back right after this.